As the great Cardi B once said,
broke people don't deserve no pussy. I know that's right. And I used to agree with her. You know, I used to believe when I was younger that I could not be gay unless I had a lot of money. Like a lot of money.
and I used to believe that I needed to marry an old white man and then take over his company while he dies of natural causes.
Okay, but that's not where we are today.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, I actually really do love money, if you can't tell. And it's basically kind of like an aphrodisiac, right?
Facts. So whenever we get a payout, you know, I'm getting it.
But the point is, a lot of people actually agree with what Cardi B says and don't really think you can have like a serious relationship if you are broke.
Yeah, but look at us.
Here we are.
Broke and in love. And we are not an anomaly. One of the biggest reasons people get divorced is because of financial distress. You know, whether y'all have money or you do not have money, it's really hard to talk money in a relationship.
So in this video, we're not really going to give you like financial advice on how to make money or how to manage it, because I feel like there's a lot of videos on that topic already. Instead, we're going to give you like a bit of an experience of how we manage money and talk about money in a very respectful and progressive way, even though we're broke.
Yeah, unfortunately. We're working on it.
Yeah, as most people. Hi roommates.
And non-subscribers.
I'm Demi.
And I'm Ru.
And we are Rumi. And our first argument about money happened to be at the grocery store.
I mean, I think it started before that, because it started when we were making the grocery list, actually, because she likes to plan things out, like, I'm going to eat this on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, etc.
It's true.
Whereas I'm like, I'm going to eat this at some point in life, so I'm just going to get it, and then I'll make a plan, right? And I'm the cook, right? So I thought I had the say on, you know, what we're going to buy to eat, right? So we were having a big argument about that, like, how do we write the grocery list, just starting from there, you know? So by the time we were going shopping, already tensions were high.
Yeah,
you know?
What did we decide on?
Oh, I won.
What do you mean?
Because in the first days you're trying to act proper. You know, you were
so I
very...
just let you have your way.
Yeah, you let me have my way a lot of times.
And continue.
Yeah, so I get my way, and we go to the grocery store with the list I wanted. Right, and I'm feeling like a winner. Then we get there, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do the trolley and put the stuff in, right? And you add up how much each thing costs. Cool, right? So I grab like a packet of tomatoes. I'm like, this is, you know, 40, right? Then she looks at it and she's like, oh, $39.99. And I'm like, nah, it's 40.
$39.99.
No, because you just it's basically 40.
But it's the price.
No, but it's a trick.
They add up. I get it, but it's still $39.99.
Yeah, but I like
Sometimes it's $39.97.
That doesn't matter. That does not matter. I like to overestimate the cost so that when I get to like the till, I can be like, oh, yay, it's actually cheaper than I thought, because it eventually adds up, right?
And I like to have the precise price.
Yes, because anxiety. Should I not say that?
It's fine. You're just mean, and it's okay.
Because you love me.
Okay, continue, girl.
Right, so, but we hadn't communicated this before, right? So now we're having another fight over this grocery list, because I'm like, you're not adding right. She's like, you're not adding right. The hell? This is the price that's written, you know? So we took a break and we walked apart from each other, took some breaths, and came back.
Yeah.
Right. And what we realized was, okay, this could actually end up being a bigger issue in the future on how we actually want to spend the money. Right. So we had to sit down and be like, okay, how do you spend money? How do you count? You know, like, it was such a you never realize the little ways, the little things that annoy you in the long run. So I was like, how do you count? Why do you count like that? And we literally had like a discussion, kind of like get to know each other. So it didn't feel like, oh my gosh, I'm judging you for your financial decisions and all these things. It really was like I want to get to know my person so that I can avoid fighting in the future about a cent.
So this was the first financial conversation we ever had. Like, it wasn't formal in any sense.
Yeah.
But I guess this conversation led to us having a much more thorough conversation about our finances. So the first step that we had to take was kind of figure out what our financial situations were and figure out how or what kind of broke we were.
Yeah.
So we sometimes tend to use the words broke and poor interchangeably when they're actually not the same thing.
Yeah. There are different types of broke and there are different types of poverty, you know. And it's important to know which type you are experiencing because each kind of needs its own solution. Right, so we had to talk about it. We're like, okay, what kind of broke are we, you know, because we were students at the time.
Yeah.
So we kind of understood that, okay, we're at the paycheck to paycheck level, you know. If you want to know the other types of broke, there's a link in the description. You can check that out. So we're on the paycheck to paycheck level. And now that we're entrepreneurs trying to make it, we're still at the paycheck to paycheck level. Just the paycheck, we never know
what's coming,
what the number's going to be. Like we can estimate, right? But we need to be ready to deal with whatever comes.
Yeah, it's a high-risk lifestyle.
Yo, hey, always exciting.
And because we have very unstable sources of income, we have to be very vigilant about how we spend our money because money is a means of showing what you value. Money is kind of like a mirror, you know. It shows us what we value as people. And the trick is to not shame yourself or your partner for what they value.
True.
So long as it doesn't harm anyone.
True. Yeah, you shouldn't be ashamed of it. What you should do is make provisions for it, you know. So to kind of get a clearer idea of what we're talking about, we had to take our financial statements, right, from the bank and actually look at what we actually spend money on. Because we have these nice ideas of where the money goes, but the numbers are there. So it's like, let's not lie to ourselves and let's check it out, you know. And we actually found out that we spend a lot of money on takeout that we don't even like.
Yeah, we hate it.
You know, we hated most of the food that we spent money on. So then we came up with the rule, right? It's like, if we're ordering takeout, right, we're going to order the things that we like, you know, and we know exactly how much that costs, when the deals are and all the promotions, etc., right? And if you want to experience something new because we like things, we actually go out to eat.
And we have a separate, precise budget for how much we're spending when we do go out.
Exactly. That helped us a lot because it saved us a lot of money and heartburns. And it also gave us a lot of new experiences.
And lactose intolerance, guys. Oh my gosh. Sorry. That came up. I just remembered this horrible experience.
Oh my gosh, when we went out to eat, and there was cheese.
I was stuck in bed for a week.
Yeah. But she still tries to drink milk, guys. She had ice cream and then we couldn't film for a month. But I'm not mad. Right, babe? The point is we use those financial statements not to be like, oh my gosh, let's save money here, let's do this. We actually looked at our habits and be like, okay, what do we value? Clearly we value food and experiences and tasting nice things. So we just need to make provisions for it and actually budget it and be like, okay, this is what we spend on takeout and this is what we spend on experiences. And that honesty has revolutionized the way we spend money. So that's what we mean by don't be ashamed, but just make provisions.
And I guess you're probably thinking if you have money to be spending on nice things, you're probably not broke. And that's not true because even when you're broke, you can have, you can set aside money if possible, if possible, for the little things that honestly bring you joy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
if you can.
If you can. I guess the whole point of what we've been trying to say is just be honest about the things you value, especially when you're making joint decisions.
Yeah.
I know that's not everyone's preferred style, but for us it is. However, this isn't an excuse for you to be irresponsible. Just because you value something doesn't necessarily mean, it'll help you get where you want to be. So when you are making these financial decisions, keep in mind your dreams and your goals and whether or not they are in line with what you want to achieve.
To be honest, guys, we're not all going to be rich, right? And that's the truth. That is the truth.
Some of us don't want to be rich. Some
Honestly.
people really want simple lives with the basic means and just,
live. But that doesn't mean we can't live fulfilling and successful lives in their own rights. I think when people think of dreams and goals and stuff, they really think of really
grand things.
Grandiose things, it's really extravagant, and we did that. We had a vision board with all these amazing things that we wanted to get, you know. Like, we're motivated. We're going to see the vision and go for it. I don't know. Something we watched on YouTube.
Dedicated.
Right? Motivated. Dedicated. Anyways, right? We had a vision board and we really wanted to achieve these things. And now we've thrown our vision board out because not that we don't believe that we can attain these things. It's more of a thing of, do we want to maintain these things, you know?
It's very important that when you're talking to your spouse or partner about money, that you both come together and figure out what kind of life you both envision for each other separately or together. And when we were talking about our dreams and our goals, we actually had to make sure that they're realistic and sustainable.
Yeah, because these things take a lot to keep them up. Like, you don't just buy a Lamborghini and chill with it, you know. You need to be able to replace the tires and the paint job and all these things, you know. And there are things that you really need to take into account, you know. Like, okay, this is the dream we have. What are the goals we need to achieve it, and how do we keep it going? So currently our dream is to actually have this YouTube thing, you know, popping off.
So please don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment.
And support us, if you can. Include us in your budget, right? And because we want this YouTube thing to pop off, we're willing to really invest in it. So anytime we get some money, we focus on what can we do to improve the channel. You know, of course, after expenses and debt and everything, it's like, okay, how do we improve the channel? And then if we have a little bit more money after, it's like, okay, let's put it away because we're working towards other things and we need to save up money to do those things. And because we have a clear idea of what those things are, we're able to put money away knowing that it has a purpose, basically. So it's a lot of revisiting the goals and talking about it and working through it, but it is worth it.
And after, you know, we sat down to have a conversation about what our dreams and goals are, how much they would cost, you know, estimates, we had to also sit down and have a conversation about what the actual plan was. Like, what is the strategy?
Personal finances are just that. They're personal. And there isn't one way that will work for everybody. You know, just as there's different types of brokes, there's different types of strategies. Right, and you need to be able to figure out what strategy works best for both of you, since you guys will be doing this together. So whether that is keeping things separate, do that well. Whether it's putting it all together, do that well. Whether it's keeping some and putting some together, like sit down and figure it out. You know, like for us, we like to talk. We love talking. We can talk all day. Right, so what we do is after we pay off debt and expenses and everything that we need to, and we have some disposable income.
I mean, we're talking like it's a lot, but
it's not.
Like what?
So we talk about it. We'll talk about it, right? And be like, okay, let's debate. You know, if someone wants to buy something, it's like, okay, do you need this makeup brush? Why? What's wrong with this makeup brush? What are we gonna do? We're having this ongoing debate right now. You know what? Why can't you use this? Why can't you use that? And you really have to justify your answer. And what that is, we're holding each other accountable to how we're spending money. I'm not shaming her for wanting to pursue makeup and improve upon her art, right? I do want to support her, but I'm just, you know, bringing her back to the reality of our financial situation, you know, because when you want things, you're just like, it's fine, YOLO, I'll make it. But when you consult another person and they're like, okay, come on, let's just bring it on back, you know, how can we YOLO but for longer? You know, we only live once, but I want to get further, you know. So how do we do that together? So that's what works for us. It won't work for everybody, and all you can do is figure it out on your own. We can't help you.
You have to make it fun, you know, talking about money. And there are also apps that you can use if you want to keep track of your money. Like right now we're using just one app for all our accounts because that's how we manage our money. And we do this thing where, you know, you wake up in the morning, the first thing you check is your balance. Like, where is your money going? What's it doing?
Not that I'm expecting anything.
Honestly,
but just to remember
I'm
the number.
hoping that one day the lotto will just,
you know, and all of a sudden,
mistakenly just fall into the account. But, you know, and we keep track of our balances, and we also keep track of our statements. You know, once a month, we just look through everything, make budgets, you know, according to the amount of money we have, because like we said, we have an unstable amount of money. So sometimes we have to let go of things to just make it work.
Yeah. And we both understand that because it's a joint decision, no one feels guilty or shame about it. And speaking about shame, right, things like debt can be very difficult to handle on your own, let alone to let someone else know how much debt you have. But you can't run from debt. You really can't, because you and this person both have the same objective. You both don't want you to have this debt. So you should work together, like get up there, say it with your chest, be like, yo, this is all I can pay. Can we make it work? What does this mean? Help them help you to help them. So you don't want to be, putting your phone on silent and running away every time it's an unknown number, You do need to know that when a number is calling, you're safe. You're not in trouble, When money is being transacted from your account, this is what I'm paying for. I'm safe. You feel this sort of safety, but you still do need safety nets.
Like she said before, you only live once. And at some point, you or your partner might just go before your time. Or at your time? Is it really before your time? Anyways. Let me say that again.
I loved it.
Okay, anyways, the point is that one of you is going to die or both of you is going to die. Right? And if that happens, you both need to have some sort of a plan as to what's going to happen with your money, right?
True. Yeah. And if there is one thing, the only thing you need to remember from this entire video is you must get married out of community property. That's it. That's the only thing. You can stop the video. Please don't. I need the watch time. But out of community of property, that's what you need to get married in. I know in some countries it's automatically like that, but in South Africa and I think Australia, you need to actually go and get a prenup and say, I want to be out of community with the accrual if you guys really love each other. But like out of community, because what in community means is that what's yours is ours. This means money, property, everything is yours, it's ours, right? But that also means debt. So if your partner dies, like they're gonna freeze your accounts and figure that debt out. If they take debt out of your name, it's all yours. Like you are totally responsible, and your partner is left stranded for God knows how long, and you don't want that.
Like you don't know what people do. Do you guys remember that show? I Don't Know Who I Married.
Yeah.
You could come up with like unnecessary gambling debts that didn't know your partner was just gathering.
And because you're married in community, it becomes your responsibility. And if you really love each other, you don't want that for this person. Like, yeah, it's romantic to be, like, it's ours, one flesh. But in the eyes of like tax, it's not cute. This is not cute. So if you are planning on being together but not getting married, there is other paperwork that you can have. Talk to your banks about it. Find out what accounts you can open together. Trust if you have that type of money.
Have proof of your relationship, because I know sometimes family members can come when your partner dies and just take everything, and now your partner is just left stranded without
any help money at all. So you need to have proof. Constantly be signing things together. Do something, like not things that will like put you in like detriment, things that you can both handle, wills, prenups, bank accounts, I don't know, figure it out. Just have this proof. It is so important because bad things happen. It is life. Like, we don't like thinking about it. I cannot imagine being without this person, but if it were to happen, I don't want to be houseless as well. It is hard to talk about. Like, money is hard to talk about, breaking up is hard to talk about, just communication is it's a skill that you develop in a relationship. And if you want more tips on how you can better communicate with your partner, you can check out this video.
Thank you guys for watching. Please don't forget to put us in your budget and buy us coffee if you can, using the link in our description. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. She got a nice big old booty. It's gonna hurt. Big old booty. Look at my wing slap. Big old booty. I'm just trying to make you laugh. Yeah, that'd be fun.